Sometimes the people we love are the people we're told we can't be with. This is not just a story about love, it's a story about Qadr, about struggle, about faith. This is the story of Amira and Zayd. Amira was a 21-year-old girl from Mumbai, reserved, creative, and deeply connected to her faith. She was a student of fashion design, passionate about modest clothing, Islamic calligraphy, and her sewing machine. She came from a respected family, a family that believed in success, degrees, salaries, and social status. But Amira believed in something else too. She believed in sincerity, in simplicity, in hearts that feared Allah. She never thought she would fall in love. But Qadr, destiny, doesn't always ask for permission. It all began in a small tailoring shop. One day, Amira walked in with a kurti she had stitched. She wanted to get it altered. That's when she met Zayd, a young tailor, 24 years old, humble, quiet, a little shy, but when he spoke, there was something different, a weight to his words, a softness in his adab. He noticed the embroidery on her sleeve. "This is Ayah from Surah Ar-Rahman," he asked. She nodded, a little surprised. "I've never seen someone blend Quran into fabric," he said. "It's beautiful. Subhanallah." That one word, Subhanallah, melted the barrier between them. From that day, she kept going back, sometimes for work, sometimes for excuses. Each time their conversations remained respectful, short, guarded. But something kept growing between them. He didn't ask for her number, he never crossed the line. But his character stayed with her, and in her heart. She started making dua. Over time, they discovered they had more in common than they thought. Both had lost something. Zayd had lost his parents in his teens. He worked in his uncle's tailoring shop. He lived simply, barely earning enough, but never missed a prayer. Amira, too, felt alone in a world that didn't understand her spiritual longing. Zayd spoke about his dream to one day start a clothing brand that combined modesty, faith, and style. Amira shared her journal with him, filled with poetry, fashion sketches, and Quranic reflections, and even though no words of love were exchanged, the bond was undeniable. But love in this world doesn't walk easily. One afternoon, Amira's mother found a folded paper in her bag, a sketch of a dress titled Zayd's Dream. She panicked. She confronted her daughter. Who is Zayd? And the world that Amira had kept in her heart collapsed. The scolding turned into shaming. "He's a tailor. We found you a rishta, an engineer in Canada. Rich, educated, from a good family," Amira pleaded. "He's not just a tailor, he's honest, he has dreams, he's someone I respect." But they didn't want to hear it. "Are you going to live on respect? Will respect pay your bills?" Her father stayed silent, and when he finally spoke, it was cold.
"If you keep this up, forget your college, forget your future, end it."
Amira returned to her room and cried like never before. For days, she stopped eating, stopped talking. She didn't go to college. She didn't touch her sewing machine. She stared at the ceiling, praying silently, "Ya Allah, I don't want to break my parents' heart, but I also can't live a lie. Show me what's right." Eventually, she gathered the courage to speak again, and she told her parents, "Just meet him once, that's all I ask." Reluctantly, her father agreed. Zayd came for the meeting. He wore a plain kurta, no perfumes, no fancy shoes. He brought with him a Quran, a gift for the family. He didn't try to impress. He didn't make promises he couldn't keep. He simply said,
"I don't have wealth, but I have sincerity. I have deen. I can offer your daughter peace, prayer, and purpose."
There was silence in the room. Amira's father looked at him and said,
"Where will you live? What will you feed her?"
Zayd replied.
"What Allah provides."
The meeting ended with no clear answer. But that night, Amira heard her parents whispering in the next room. Her mother said, "If we say no, we'll lose her. She's slipping." And her father, the same man who once slammed doors, softly said, "Let Qadr write the rest." 2 weeks later, Amira and Zayd had a small nikah, just family, a few close friends, a local imam, no gold, no glamour, just quiet dua, simple clothes, and tears of gratitude. Zayd gave her a silver ring. engraved with a needle and thread, and the word Qadr. Their first home was a one-room flat above the shop. They didn't have a fridge, or a washing machine, or even a proper bed, but they had peace. They had Fajr together. They had Quran between them. They had Barakah. These early days were tough. Amira, who grew up with house help, now had to do it all. She burnt the dal. She cried over unpaid electricity bills. Zayd, overwhelmed with work and responsibility, sometimes came home silent, too tired to talk. Small arguments grew, sometimes over money, sometimes over misunderstandings. But each time, they came back to prayer. They came back to Allah. One night, a major crisis hit. Zayd had sent their rent money to his cousin in need, without telling Amira. She was furious, scared. "I left everything for you," she cried, "and now we might lose our home." Zayd's eyes filled with tears. "My cousin in Delhi, his daughter was sick. They had no food. I couldn't turn away." Amira was silent, angry, hurt, but also conflicted. That night, they prayed side by side, and Amira whispered, "Ya Allah, soften my heart." The next day, Zayd sold his old sewing machine, took double shifts, worked late nights. He apologized again. And this time, Amira smiled. "We faced things together, no more secrets." Their bond deepened, not just in love, but in Tawakkul. 5 years later, they opened a boutique called Suratul Qadr. Their logo? A thread weaving into the shape of a heart with the word Bismillah above it. They didn't become rich, but they became stable. Their designs, faith-inspired, modest, creative, started going viral online, and on the boutique's grand opening, Amira's father came. He stood quietly, looking at the clothes. Then he turned to Zayd and hugged him. "I was wrong. You've given her more than I ever could." Love isn't about roses and rings. It's about dua and dedication. It's not about finding the richest person, but the person richest in character. Sometimes you don't need a mansion. You just need someone who will pray with you, cry with you, and build Jannah with you. This is what happens when you trust Allah more than your fear. This was the story of Amira and Zayd.